Hey, Xavier here with Wise Credit Repair, and if you're watching this, either you've made it into the bonus guide for removing late payments on our blog, or maybe you stumbled upon this video on YouTube. Either way, in this video, we're going to provide you with the methods of removing late payments off your credit report so that you can get access to the credit you need, pay less money in fees, pay less money in interest, and just live a better life overall due to having a better credit score. Okay, it's a wise choice for you to be here, so let's learn these tactics. Late payments are one of the fastest and probably the most painful ways to tank your credit score. There's nothing worse than making on-time payments for years and years and years, and then boom, something happens, like you lose a job or you lose a loved one, there's a loss of income for the month. Then you're stuck with the question of which bill are you going to pay with your next paycheck. And now there's a blemish on your credit report just because of a silly late payment, right? The last thing that you want to see is your 690 credit score that you worked so hard for crash by 100 points just because of a late payment. So we're going to dive deep into these tactics to make sure you don't have to experience this, or if you are experiencing this, you're going to pull yourself out of this situation. So let's jump into it. First off, let's define a late payment, right? Because many people think just because they have to pay a late fee, it means that they have a late payment on their credit score. And that's not true. The FICO scoring system's actual definition of a late payment is a payment that is past the due date by 30 days or more. So for example, if your credit card, if the due date is January 1st, but you pay on the 29th, that's under 30 days. So that won't be reported late. You'll definitely pay a late fee, but it won't be reported late. You have a time window of 30 days past the due date. So in our example of January the 1st, any payments past January 31st will be considered late and it will be reported to the bureaus. So if you ever find yourself in a situation where you need to budget, plan your bill payments for the month, just make sure any late payments that you consciously decide to make are within that 30-day time window. So again, sticking to our example, if you know you can't make your bill by January the 1st, plan to make the payment anytime before January 31st. So this way, yes, you still have to pay a late fee, but you don't have to deal with late payments being marked on your credit score, which can hurt your score by a large percentage. So let's jump into the first strategy. Our first strategy is only going to work if you don't have a lot of late payments. And that strategy is called the goodwill letter, right? A goodwill letter is simply a request to remove a record of late payments from a customer's credit report as a show of goodwill for being a good customer or a good debtor, if you will. You're going to want to explain to them in full detail the reason why you should have the late payment removed. In most cases, they'll be very forgiving, especially if you don't make a lot of late payments very often, and you have to obviously have a legitimate reason why you missed a payment. In fact, it's kind of ironic that when you pay off accounts in full, it's actually much easier to get any late payments that are hovering on the account removed, because remember, creditors, they're not really looking to make your life miserable. They just want their money back, plus the interest. But once they have their money back, anything else you ask is just customer service. And a good creditor will provide that customer service because they want to do business with you. They want to continue, getting interest from you. So there's nothing wrong with sending a goodwill letter, asking them to remove the late payment. The goodwill letters that we have for you in the DIY package, they work like a charm. That's the perfect template that you can use. Send that letter. If that doesn't work for you, you can also call them, just be real with them, say, hey, I'm in the process of building my credit back. I made a mistake not paying when I was young. That was a minute ago. You guys have your money now. I'm just trying to clean up my profile. Can you please help me? Remove the late payment. And hey, maybe you're trying to remove the late payment because you want to get a home loan or you're trying to get a business loan. Just let them know that, don't be afraid to get emotional with them. The person on the other line, they're a human too. So if the new house you're attempting to purchase is gonna, create more living space for your kids, more backyard space, and all you need is those late payments removed to qualify for the home loan, don't be afraid to disclose that to the creditor. Sometimes they'll make it happen. Other times, not so much, but you can always fall back on the goodwill letter. The most important thing though is persistence, right? There's nothing wrong with calling more than one time or sending a goodwill letter more than once if it doesn't work the first time, but you shouldn't have that problem if you've purchased the goodwill letters from the Wise Credit Repair DIY package. Follow the instructions in that package and sending them off, and you can get those late payments removed easily. The next strategy is online bill pay. The online bill pay method is very simple. Most creditors and lenders, they have an online portal that you can use to make payments, or a phone application, or any online payment processor of some kind. And like most online portals, they sometimes go through maintenance. They have glitches, they freeze, they time out. So if at any one point this did take place, there is a possibility that it could have affected your ability to make a payment on time, right? So what you can do is send a dispute letter to the credit bureau. And what you would want to do is make a dispute of the late payment and declare it as an account being paid on time, right? Due to that error. The bureaus, they're going to contact the creditor, and the creditor will do an investigation and they'll make the correction. Now, if you want, you can increase your chances of getting it removed by also sending a letter directly to the creditor and have them do the investigation, right, directly. It'll not only save you time, but it's also going to increase your chances. The next method is the negotiation method. So let's say you have a lot of missed payments on your accounts, right? If you do the goodwill letter, probably not going to work. Online bill pay method, it's 50-50. You're going to need something else. So lucky for you, missing multiple late payments, it gives you a little bit of a leverage that you may not have realized that you've had. If the account hasn't been charged off yet, then what you can do is negotiate to bring the account current in exchange for removal of the late payments. The creditors, they don't have a problem collecting a tax break on your defaulted debt. However, they would much more like to get their money back. So that gives you all the leverage that you need to get those late payments removed. Negotiate to the terms and conditions that you decide. Make up-to-date payments, and then you can get those late payments removed. If your payment is over 120 days late, and chances are the debt has probably been charged off anyway, or sold to a collection agency, but that doesn't mean that you can't have the late payment removed, because you're still required to pay the debt. So you just offer to make a payment to remove the lateness, right? In some cases, you can actually have the account removed completely from your report. Charge-offs, they weigh really heavy on the credit score. So if you can use your negotiation power wisely, you can make a really strong impact to your credit score. Good credit history is extremely important for your financial future. And the last thing you want is a few late payments to hinder your ability to get access to financing or a mortgage or a new car, right? So use these tactics to remove your late payments. Get on the phone, send the goodwill letters we provide. You can dispute with the online bill pay method or handle your negotiations, and you can get these late payments off your credit report. Don't be discouraged if you don't get it done right away, right? Sometimes it can happen really fast, especially if you take the time to learn and you know what you're doing. If you don't have the time to learn and you want to get this done, you can always sign up to become a client of Wise Credit Repair. Somebody will help you. Just understand the reality, which is true credit repair, just like anything else in life that's worthwhile, takes time. It takes know-how, it takes expertise, and it takes patience, right? Not everybody is going to get the same results in the same amount of time. Everybody has a different story. I would love to hear yours in the comments below. If you have anything you wish to ask about removing late payments, credit repair, please ask it in the comment section of this video. If you want to download the PDF guide to removing late payments, click below in the description or scroll down if you're watching this on the blog. Our next topic in the series is going to be what to do with your collection accounts and why you should never pay debt collectors. See you in the next video.